Hey, I'm David Mason. I'm the Director of Public Health for the town of Sandwich, and we're with Guy Boucher from the Rec Department and Dave DeConto from DNR. And we're at Peters Pond today, first day of summer. We have a lot of activity at the pond. We have the Sandwich's 6th grade class here, but we're here to talk to you about what's going on with the ponds. We're going to talk about pond health and activities that are occurring on the pond. You're going to hear some noises going by. It's the kids having a great time here because they're enjoying the facility. So first things I want to bring up with you is the fact that last year we had a lot of issues with cyanobacteria. And we were doing testing with cyanobacteria, which we will not be doing this year. We know cyanobacteria is in the ponds. We already know it. So, and testing of cyanobacteria isn't mandated by state law. So what we'll be doing this year is monitoring the situation. We'll be training the lifeguards again in locations. We'll be monitoring the status of the ponds in the morning. And if we're observing a bloom, we will be posting the ponds. So cyanobacteria has to do with the health of the pond, and it varies year to year. It's dependent upon many things as far as rainfall, air temperature, water temperature, and the nutrients going into the ponds. So I think what we'll be doing this year, like I mentioned, monitoring the situation. We see a bloom, we will post an advisory. And what we're doing here today too is educating you about cyanobacteria because there is some toxic issues associated with it. But you know, again, it's just an advisory because there's no state laws for it. So at each of the ponds, we'll have an informational bulletin. We'll have a poster talking about harmful bacteria, and we'll be posting regular information of what we're observing at the ponds. We will be testing the ponds weekly for E. coli because that is required by law. And we do the weekly testing, and the only way you get notified of the levels if we're closing the ponds. And those will be posted at the ponds, and we'll post them online also. We've had very few closures for E. coli for the past few years, so I'm not expecting a concern with that. So I guess what we'll do is we'll start with Dave DeConto to talk about what he has going on in the ponds this year.
Thank you, Dave. So this year at Ryder, we're open for the season on this Friday, the 24th. You can go swimming, you can go boating off the point. There aren't going to be any lifeguards as far as I know, although my staff that is also trained in algal blooms will be making spot checks on the property. And along with that, at Wigby, we're also doing enforcement of the personal watercraft ban on Peters Pond starting on the 25th, this Saturday. So we'll have boat patrols on the pond. Our staff will get out, they'll check the other ponds and the beaches, and hopefully we'll have an enjoyable summer.
As far as the personal watercraft, the jet skis, the prohibition on this pond, that determination was made at town meeting?
That was made at town meeting on November of 21, and it was upheld by the State Department of Environmental Enforcement in early May.
Okay.
Yep.
So we'll see a lot less activity that way on the
Correct.
pond, or none from the jet skis this year.
Hopefully none.
Hopefully none. Very good. And what do we have going on, Guy, with your program?
So with our program, you know, we have lifeguards here at Peters Pond as well as at Snake Pond this year. Due to lifeguarding shortage, we will not have lifeguards at Ryder Conservation at Wakeby Pond. So, but we will have them here at Peters Pond and at Snake Pond. They'll be 7 days a week from 10 to 4:30. They'll be in the stands. So, you know, we're looking forward to that. And as you mentioned earlier, every morning our guards come in, they walk the beach, they look at the swim area, and they're looking for any dangers, anything that's out of place, and also for any new blooms or anything that's going on in the water. Should they find something, then they'll report that to us, and then we'll forward that up the chain and deal with it if necessary.
So let's talk about swim lessons, because we had because of the wind direction this time of year at the beginning of the summer, the wind is pushing everything into Oak Crest Cove.
Right.
So we had a lot of cyanobacteria hits in which we had extended closures.
Right.
So you have shifted your swim lesson program to to Snake Pond?
That's correct, yes. So all our swim lesson programs, semi-private lessons, will be over at Snake Pond this year.
Okay, and the reason there is we didn't have a lot of cyano hits there.
Exactly.
The wind direction is pushing it to the far cove on Snake Pond, so we're not seeing the levels that we're seeing here.
Correct.
At this
Correct.
point. So
Yep.
that's adjusting your program to accommodate what's occurring here.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Correct. Yep.
Anything else that we want to bring up?
Just that you are going to have some programs at Ryder.
Yeah, so at Ryder we will still have our sailing program and our kayaking and stand-up paddleboard program as well. So we will have staff there that will be monitoring and looking at the water and reporting anything that's unusual.
And the interesting part, in all our facilities, like Ryder, the wind direction is away from Ryder, pushing it to the opposite shore. The same is true in Snake Pond from the town beach. It's pushing it away from the Snake Beach, whereas here it's pushing it in.
Right.
And, we haven't observed any blooms here.
Nope.
I know there's citizens groups that are out there monitoring also, so we'll be using their information as we go through the summer.
Right.
But the discussions prior to and adjustments are all about bringing information to the public and keeping the public safe.
Right, and I think it's worth noting too that with cyano it can be very localized. So even if a bloom is reported across the pond here at Peters Pond, that doesn't mean we have one here at the swim area here. So I think that's something to be noted and for people to understand.
All right. So what we'll be doing is, as the summer season goes on, we'll be providing other updates as information comes in and people are looking for more information. So we'll give you pond updates through the summer at this point, but we want you to have a great summer, enjoy, and be safe.